Hey there guys, Dobby back at you with another story. Big Mike was a proud DIY warrior with a 2005 Chevy Silverado 1500 that had 220,000 miles on it. The 4L60E transmission was starting to slip in third gear and whine like it was possessed. Instead of taking it to a reputable transmission shop where a proper rebuild runs 2,500 to 3,500, Mike decided to save a fortune. He found a guy on Craigslist, Backyard Bob, who advertised complete 4L60E rebuilds, only $650 cash, includes torque converter. Bob's garage was literally his backyard shed, complete with a come-along hoist made from an old swing set. Mike dropped the truck off on Friday. Bob promised it'd be ready by Sunday. I do these in my sleep, bro. OEM clutches, new seals, the works. Mike paid the $650 plus another $80 for premium fluid, which turned out to be whatever was in the 5-gallon bucket. Monday morning, Mike picks it up. The truck shifts okay-ish. A little harsh, but hey, it moves. He drives it to work feeling like a genius who just saved $2,000. By Wednesday, things got weird. The transmission starts clunking into gear like it's being kicked by a mule. Then on the highway, it decides to downshift from fourth to second at 65 miles an hour for no reason. The tires churt, the truck lurches, and Mike's coffee ends up in his lap. He nurses it home and Bob says, "Drive it more. It needs to learn your habits." Classic backyard rebuild wisdom. Friday evening, disaster strikes. Mike is heading to pick up pizza with the transmission lets go completely. There's a loud bang, followed by the most god-awful grinding sound, like a blender full of metal marbles. The truck loses all forward gears. Reverse still works, barely. He limps into a gas station parking lot in reverse, smoke pouring out from under the truck. Fluid is everywhere. The torque converter has grenaded, taking most of the pump and half the clutch packs with it. Tow truck arrives, $150. They haul it to a real transmission shop. The master tech pulls the pan and just starts laughing uncontrollably. Inside, a glorious mess. The new clutches were cheap aftermarket junk that looked like they'd been sitting in a damp basement for years. Half the snap rings were missing or installed backwards. The valve body was full of metal shavings because Bob hadn't bothered to flush the cooler lines properly. The torque converter, it was a rebuilt unit from the 90s, and Bob had balanced it by welding random washers to the outside. Worst of all, one of the planetary gears had a massive crack in it that was clearly there before the rebuild. Bob had just painted over it with black engine enamel to hide it. The tech held up a handful of chewed up parts and said, "Son, you didn't get a rebuild, you got a time bomb," with a Craigslist sticker on it. Total repair at the new shop. New remanufactured transmission because the case was now damaged from the explosion. Cooler lines, torque converter, Weber fluid, etc. Final bill, $3,850. Mike's face when they showed him the before photos looked like he'd aged 10 years. He still had to pay the original $730 to Backyard Bob, who mysteriously stopped answering calls after the failure. The truck sat for 3 weeks while Mike ate ramen and begged rides from coworkers. The shop kept the worst pieces on the shelf labeled "Wall of Shame, never hire Craigslist for transmissions." Customers still point and laugh years later. Moral of the story: transmission work is black magic mixed with rocket surgery. If the quote sounds too good to be true, it's because someone about to turn your truck into an expensive reverse-only lawn ornament. Thanks for listening, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you. You. And you. Well, who am I kidding? There's only one you that watches these videos. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.